We're going to be doing something a little different, a little bit new. As you can tell, I got a new product here, the Spray Buddy. This is from our friend Pete over at GCI Turf. If you'd like some more information on where you can get these and you'd like to support me in the process, I'll leave more details in the description below. Today, I'm going to attempt to spray my 2,000 square feet in the back like a pro. Well, I kind of am a pro, but it's a whole thing. Anyway, we're going to do a DIY style application in a professional style hybrid setting, if that makes sense. So what I got here is the Cart Buddy 20 gallon. There's a couple different varieties you can get. They have 5 gallons, 10 gallons, 15 gallons, 20 gallons, and I believe soon, I can't spoil it. You'll have to subscribe to stay tuned. Anyway, I know I'm such a tease, but yeah. So we're already calibrated. If you'd like to see a video on how I calibrate these things, it's pretty much the same from a little tank like this to a 200-gallon spray tank that goes on the back of your truck. That's something we can do in the future. This is already calibrated and ready to go. All I need to do is put together my mix. Now, this is my favorite part of the application process, is mixing up a little concoction, right? That's going to make the grass that much greener, that much more stronger, that much more resistant. There's something so fun about that to me, you know, mixing up that concoction, right? Anyway, I'm going to attempt to put together my mix that I actually use in my spray business for my second round. Everything in here is pretty much the same, the only difference being the fertilizer product. Our customers get something a little extra special in that category. Other than that, though, everything else is exactly the same. I've already got my water in here. I already got the sprayer calibrated. Like I said, that's another video for another time. And I've also gotten my GPM set, so I'm just going to go ahead and kick it on. Now, in the pro world, I like to spray at 1.5 gallons per 1,000 square feet because it allows me to cover more land, if you will. But in this setting, we're going to keep it simple at 2 gallons per 1,000. So 2 gallons covers 1,000 square feet. I got 4 gallons in there. My backyard is about 2,000 square feet to be exact. So that's how this is going to work. Can't even do math. Look at this. I'm horrible at this. Anyway, it's okay. If I'm going to be incompetent, it's going to be with you guys watching and witnessing. So 15 ounces per 1,000 is what we're doing here, and we're using 2600 Green Charge. Now, this is a product you could pick up on JakeTheLawnKid.com. As you guys know who watch the channel, we have a link in the lower left-hand corner for you to check that out. So 2600 is what we're going to be running for our fertilizer product, full of nitrogen and micronutrients and all sorts of stuff that's going to help our lawns look green. That's our fertilizer product. We're going to put that in first because that's really the catalyst for this whole thing. I had a little technical difficulty here. This damn phone decided to shut off, so I guess we're stuck with what we got and we just got to roll with it. But anyway, in that tank, 2600, 15 ounces per 1,000, triplet, which is our 3D amine weed control, that's in there at 1.5 ounces per 1,000, and our grub control for the season, which is a Celiprin. Now, any of you guys watching, I don't have that available to you in my shop. I have something cheaper, imidacloprid, aka Merit. That's available in our shop if you click right here. That'll give you the grub control that you need to get you through the season. As far as when you can get that down, you can get that down sometime in mid to late June, maybe even July. But if you're going the Celiprin route because you're an enthusiast and you like that kind of thing, right now would be a good time to get that down, for sure. Get that residual while you can to keep the grubs at bay. Anyway, we're ready to go. We're all mixed up. Let's get to spraying. Okay, so this is my first run with the GCI Turf Cart Buddy, and first impressions, I love it. It's actually very seamless for someone like me because, as you guys know, I do spray lawns professionally for a living, and having something like this now in my DIY arsenal is really nice because it's a seamless transition from what I do out in the field. Before I had this, as you guys know, I've done applications back here for video's sake with the orthodilin spray on the hose, and while that works just fine, you know, it's still a task in and of itself to switch from that to the ortho. So Doing this is a little closer to home for me, and it works really, really well. And if you are a DIYer, I do think it is a cool investment if you're an enthusiast about it and you want to be like a professional and feel like a professional when you're doing an application. So that's who I think this is for. If you're getting into it, though, as far as applications go, orthodial and spray on the hose will work just fine. Cheap, easy, something you can find at Home Depot. But if you want to level it up, maybe you got some more land you got to deal with, this is a really, really cool investment. I will say that right now. Now, another thing that's cool about this sprayer and the fact that I have a spray business is there are actually a couple of uses for this unit in the professional field that I will be showing in some upcoming videos. So if you haven't subscribed now, I highly recommend you do, because that is something we will be exploring in the near future. But yeah, in the meantime, we're out here spraying down basically a similar mix to my round 2. That 2600 product is going to be key here. It's going to be the catalyst that makes the lawn super dark in the next couple days. So if you haven't subscribed, I recommend you do, because you're going to see how nice and double dark green this one application at 15 ounces per thousand will make it. Oh, and as I mentioned earlier, we also got the triplet in there at 1.5 ounces per thousand, as well as our season-long grub control. So yeah, a very robust application to make the grass that much better. All right, so the application is down. Second application of the season. A little later than I would have liked, but better late than never. The window of time for us to get that down is usually late April to early June. Maybe mid-June if we have to push it, but that's our 6-week window that we utilize to get this application done. And yeah, it's literally the first application we've done to this lawn since March when we put down the Prodiamine 1500. I really do think this allows me to answer a question that people ask me all the time, and that is, Jake, should I do a broadcast weed control treatment for the first spray of the season, or should I do a spot spray? Well, that's really up to you, because there are several variables that are going to dictate which one is easier. One of them being your application method. In this case, I'm using the Spray Buddy from GCI Turf, which after the first application, I gotta say, worked really, really nice. That is a good time to do a broadcast weed control application. I recommend doing at least one of those a year, either in the spring or fall, just to keep all the weeds at bay, because there always will be a couple getaways in the spring season. So that's exactly what we did here. Just spiked it in the tank with our fertilizer and our season-long grub control. So if you're doing this out of a hand can, then I would say it might be better to just spot spray. Again, it's really up to you and what you want to do, but me personally, I find it better at least twice a year. I know I said once a year, but for me in the professional world, at least twice a year to do a blanket app of 2,4-D amine, just to keep those weeds at bay, because it works wonders in the spray business. Why not try it at home, right? So there's my 2 cents on that. If you want to spot spray and you're doing it mainly out of a hand can, that's the way to go. But yeah, it's up to you and what you want to do. But that's the application. Everything is down. I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaned up here, and yeah, we'll come back in a couple days and see how everything looks. If you want to see a couple more videos on how to get the deepest, darkest, greenest, thickest lawn on the block, I recommend you check those out right here. And if you click this button right here, something magical is going to happen, as you're going to be hearing more from me as I teach you how to have the deepest, darkest, greenest, thickest lawn on the block. Check it out. Hope to see you around.